Any second now. Wow. What's up everybody, welcome back to the Danator channel. In today's video we're going to be assembling the Central Machinery 20-ton shop press from Harbor Freight. Alright, so here's what we're working with. Comes in 2 boxes. That 20-ton may actually be referencing how much this box weighs. Let me tell you, that puppy is heavy. Real quick, picked this up after work one day. I saw that it was on sale, and so I raced down to the Harbor Freight to pick one up because they don't last long. And in fact, I got the very last one off the shelf. Anyway, the guy that was loading it into the back of my car, because I wasn't driving my truck that day, liked to rip the weather stripping off my hatch area, just dragging that thing in the back of my car. It fit just fine. Seat folds down, everything as a hatch. But kind of cringed a little bit when he just shoved it into the back the way he did. Anyway, no harm done, no damage, whatever. So let's crack this puppy open. I've got all kinds of bushings and ball joints to remove off of some control arms and stuff. So this will come in handy. If you're interested in what these control arms go on, check out this playlist right here. It's my Project ZRS. It's my 97 Camaro that I'm going to be LS swapping. So check that out if you're interested. Let's get back to the unboxing. All right, let's open box number 1. Makes sense, right? This appears to be the bottle jack and all of the hardware, springs, and the bottle jack. Looking for instructions. Aha, I see them. Right there. Owner's manual and safety instructions. Okay, it's called safety rules, blah, blah, blah. Components and controls. And there are our assembly instructions. And the operating instructions. And the troubleshooting. And the assembly diagram. I should say it goes without saying, but common sense is usually rare sense. When you're under a lot of pressure like this, stuff can break and go wrong, and so there's definitely some safety precautions that we need to follow when operating such a device as this. There are our plates. Here are our legs. This is very heavy. Hopefully it does hold up to 40,000 pounds of pressure. I don't necessarily think I have anything that would warrant that kind of pressure. Although this would have been nice to have whenever I tried getting that axle out of the hub of that Toyota Sienna minivan. All right, let's start putting this together. All right, my tools of choice to assemble this are going to be my dynamic stubby ratcheting wrenches, as well as my dynamic tool socket set. Okay, we're going to be assembling the base section, basically the feet. So we've got these 2 angle bars in the center section. We're going to bolt them to the base of these 2 uprights. So all the holes down this length is the bottom. There's a gap, 2 holes up there, that's the top. So we're going to be using these small nuts and bolts and washers. It's got a lock nut on that side. So these are 17 millimeter. And we're also going to be using these support plates. This sits on the base. The peak of this angle is upright. The bolt goes through this direction. The washer and the lock nut on. I'll run another bolt through there, like our angle bracket. This is a little bit cumbersome doing this just by myself. If I had an extra set of hands, certainly this would go a little smoother, but it's not that bad. So real quickly, one interesting thing of note is this upright does not actually sit flush on the floor. It's about, a quarter of an inch off of the base. So again, these are 17 millimeter. So right now I'm not tightening them super tight, just kind of snug. So that's all there is to it for the uprights. Let's do this other side really quick. Same procedure. so the next thing to do is put in these support pins. We're about ready to install the apron, which is this bad boy. We're just going to slide it over the post like that. Okay, so we've got these 4 holes at the top of the supports. We've got our upper beam right here. Just gonna line these holes up and throw these bolts through. Every blind hog finds an acorn sometimes. Now on the back side of these bolts, we're going to put the washer, spring washer, and then the nut. It's a 15/16 nut and bolt. Let's do that snug for now. Do the same for the other side. Okay, this is the jack plate. This is where the bottle jack will bolt to. You can see it's a little longer on one side and shorter on the other. I can't tell by the instructions if it goes this way or this way. I don't know. In any event, you're supposed to angle it like that and then take these eyelet bolts, fish it through that hole, and then just put the nut, a couple spins on the bottom. So it looks like that. Okay, now it's calling for the springs, and those just hook on the bars. Like such. All right, now these 2 bolts here are what secure the jack to the jack plate. Okay, this jack plate right here, I've got the longer end facing out. I've got the sticker and the sticker facing me, and the bolt holes line up, and most importantly, the jack and this circle right here line up perfectly. Actually did something right the first time. So this bolt is a 6mm hex or Allen key. Now the instructions are saying we need to bleed the jack before we use it. So make sure that it's fully compressed right now, which it is. Take out this filler bolt, set that to the side. And down inside here, we got another filler plug screw. We need to get that out of there. And for whatever reason, my microphone cut out when I was trying to explain this. I'm using this fatter Phillips head bit to remove the screw plug that's in this thing. I don't want to ruin this because I'd have a pretty bad leak, and I really don't want to have to deal with that mess and buy a new screw. Anyway, I'm removing that, and then I'm going to take the release valve and loosen that. Next, I'm going to give the jack a few quick pumps, and I just want to see a little bit of fluid come to the entrance of that fill spout. And then I'm going to close the release valve and give it a couple more pumps. Again, I just want to see a little bit of fluid come out. It's way too much. Perfect. Put this back in very carefully, not to over tighten it or cross thread, because again, don't want that mess on my hands. And then put the plug back in and make sure it's all tight. Give it a few pumps, and you can tell that it's fully functional, and we're good to go. Alrighty, I've got all the bolts and nuts all tightened down. Jack is working. I'm not going to leave this thing sitting right in the middle of my garage. This thing, again, is very heavy. We do have a smooth concrete floor, and I think I could drag this thing around if I needed to move it, but I really don't want to pop a hernia or a hemorrhoid or something moving this thing. So I'm going to make it easy on myself. And the base of this actually has holes where you're supposed to like bolt this to the floor. I'm actually going to use the bolt holes in this base to run some casters. Picked up these 4-inch casters from Harbor Freight as well. And I went to the hardware store and got a lock nut for the top of this post. But I've got standard swivel and a caster with a foot brake, so this thing will hold still. So we're gonna go ahead and upgrade this thing with some casters, then I can move this beast around my garage. So we do have a slight problem. The hole in the base of this foot here is not big enough for the post on my caster. So we're gonna have to drill. This is not a metal cutting drill. We're gonna try it anyway. Okay, that went surprisingly well. Haha! It fits now. Okay, that'll work. Just gotta do that 3 more times. Two of them have foot brakes, the other 2 are just normal. I should have probably bought 4 with foot brakes, but only bought 2 because these are a bit more expensive than the normal ones. I'll just put the foot brakes on opposite corners. We'll go with that. All right, here goes nothing. Cool, 3 more times. So this big old honking unit rolls nice and smooth across this concrete floor. And then push the brakes down. And this thing doesn't go anywhere. So that is a well worth the money, cheap upgrade in my book. There's no real good place to put the jack handle, and it doesn't fit in the hole. Wish there was a clip or something you can put this. Oh well. There you have it. It's a pretty straightforward, simple assembly. Bleeding the hydraulic press is a little bit tricky. The instructions aren't necessarily helpful with that because there's no diagram pointing at what's what. But anyway. All right, now it's time to put this thing to use. Although I'm not going to be putting it to use tonight because I'm done for the night. It's getting late. So I'll catch back up with you after this fade to black. All right, so we're back at this. I've got some lower control arms off of my Z28 Camaro. I'm going to be replacing all of the bushings and ball joints. So we're going to go ahead and try to remove this lower ball joint right here using this press. It doesn't look like it's overly corroded or crusty or anything, but I'm assuming we're going to get a nice loud pop from this. I'm going to be using some adapters and rings and stuff that I've got from this Maddox ball joint service kit. Got this at Harbor Freight for like $70 or something on sale. So I'm going to be using some of these adapters to help push this thing out. So let's see how well this Central Machinery 20-ton shop press does. Hopefully we'll see a nice pop right here. Pretty tight. Any second now. Yeah, that'll do it. Wow. That is an explosion. My wife's wondering what's going on. What was that? Well, that is the unboxing, assembly, and demonstration of the Central Machinery 20-ton shop press that I got from Harbor Freight. This thing is quickly becoming an invaluable tool in my shop because of the bushings and ball joints I've already been able to press out with this press. If you have the opportunity to pick up one of these from Harbor Freight, they often are on sale. I think it'd be a great addition to your shop as it's been to mine so far. Having said all that, that's going to wrap up today's video. Be sure and check out the channel. I've got other tool reviews, some vlogs, repairs, fun. If it warrants your subscription, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell when I post new content, And as always, thanks for watching. God bless. Be sure and hit that like switch on your way out, and we'll see you next time.